Golf News RI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast. I'm Joe Calabro. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Rich Capali. Rich, how you doing today, buddy boy? Happy Thursday.
Yes, sir. Happy Thursday. Nice weather out. Going to get a little warmer out tomorrow, just in time to hit the golf course. Everything's good over here. Getting ready for a little PGA Tour playoff action in another, 20 minutes or so. But other than that, everything's good.
It certainly is. It was a bit chilly this morning, I have to say. It was kind of cold.
Dude, Sunday I wore quarters for the first 2 holes, and then obviously the sun came out and it was warm. But yeah, 59, 60 degrees when I left the house on Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm. But we know Friday's going to be about 90 degrees, so that's always good. The weekend's supposed to be really nice. So looking forward to playing some golf, watching some golf, and everything in between. Before we get started, we have obviously a lot to get to. I was at the Kirkberry Women's Club Championship this morning. We have the U.S. Amateur going on. We have Q-School is next week for some of the locals, so that's going to be fascinating to watch. Obviously, follow online as much as possible. So obviously, lots to get to. PGA Tour and Live, the story just does not go away. More craziness happened this week, so we'll get into all that. But first, we should tell you that the Golf Dudes Podcast is presented by Lynx Drinks. Lynx Drinks is best known for their transfusion in a can. The transfusion is vodka, ginger ale, and grape juice, all mixed up into one refreshing beverage. But also, if you don't like that, be sure to check out their 2 new flavors, the front 9 and the back 9. The front 9 includes orange juice. The back 9 includes cranberry juice. So 2 great drinks for your weekend. Make sure you have a transfusion before you head out onto the course this week. And look for Lynx Drinks at liquor stores and country clubs near you. Again, Lynx Drinks is in about 20 country clubs, 20 golf clubs across the state of Rhode Island. So check them out when you get a chance. So lots to get to. Obviously, the live stuff keeps getting more bizarre. This morning, I was at the Kirkberry Women's Club Championship, and Kylie beat her sister Adriana to win her 4th straight club championship. 1 up, Kylie birdied the 17th hole to go 1 up, and then they have 18 to end the match. I actually attempted to stream the final hole live on our Facebook page, so if you want to go back and watch it, it's a little bit tricky to follow. I try to follow the best I can. I was also trying to be conscious of talking too loud and being in the way, but it came out all right. But so if you want to check that out, feel free to go to our Facebook page. Figured it was a good opportunity to try something and see what it looked like. But anyway, so congrats to Kylie. So she got a women's amateur championship. She made it to the final of the junior am, and she defended her Kirkberry Club championship. And of course, Rich, the best part is she gets a parking spot. She retains the parking spot and
retains it, and she can actually use it now.
And she can actually use it this year because she recently got her permit. So there you go. So Kylie's got another Kirkberry Club championship. It was a terrific match. It was an epic battle. Adriana was 2 up early, and Kylie came storming back. Adriana hit a tremendous chip from the back of the 13th green. The pin was in the back. She was on the back fringe of the 13th green, the back rough of 13, which is an impossible shot. She ends up chipping in for birdie to win the hole. It was the most amazing thing you'll ever see. I don't know how she did it, but that was certainly the highlight of the match. And I thought maybe that was going to be kind of the shot of the match. She went 1 up there, but then Kylie won 14. Kylie drained a 20-foot birdie putt on 15. And then she was kind of in control-ish from there. But obviously, it was a fun match. And obviously, congrats to Kylie. Also, congrats, obviously, as we posted earlier this week or this weekend. Congrats to our guy Mike Hamilton on winning the Kirkberry Men's Club Championship. So, Club Championship season is in full force. We still have a few Club Championships to go that we'll be reporting on over the next few weeks or so. I know the Pawtucket Club Championship is winding down. Max Jackson is in the mix on that, and I think the Gloucester Club Championship as well, among others, is coming up as well. So we'll continue our Club Championship reporting. It's always a fun time of year. So congrats to all the champions, but certainly congrats to our people from Kirkbrae. So there's that. Obviously, congrats to everybody at King's Crossing, and none of which is named Rich Capali, and nobody from Kirkbrae winning is named Joe Calabro. So we still
or any Calabro.
Or any Calabro. My dad didn't even play. My dad didn't even play because he's playing so bad, and my uncle got knocked out in the first round. So there you have it.
How about Albert Pujols just hit a grand slam?
Albert Pujols just hit a grand slam for those that are concerned.
609th home run was a grand slam. Holy crap!
That happened at approximately 2:52 p.m. So if you're a diehard Cardinals fan and you're listening to this podcast for some reason,
Jesus,
there you go.
He's like an ageless wonder.
The medication helps, I'm sure. So there is that. Rich, you have a big tournament this weekend, the King's Crossing 27-hole marathon.
Yeah.
Looking for a W. You already have a W this year, at least one, W, if not two. So what are the chances you can make it three or two?
We have to come in under par on alternate shot, which we usually do. We usually play to 1 or 2 under, which is fantastic for alternate shot. People hate alternate shot.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my brother-in-law, we play well because we play every weekend together, so we know exactly what each other hits, what our strengths, what our weaknesses are. So I don't even know who's playing. I'm going down there tomorrow. We're going down there to play a practice round tomorrow. I got to see what the groups look like, who's playing. But yeah, I like our chances.
Yeah, so that's 27 holes at King's Crossing starting at around 8 a.m. We'll have, assuming I get the results sent to me, which I usually do, we'll have results of that as well. And then next week, I have, hopefully, if I get a partner, I have the Stamp Blue tournament. So that'll be fun. 27 holes on Saturday, 18 on Sunday. Hopefully, we want to get a partner, but hopefully get a title. So still some competitive golf left. Next week across the state is the Rhode Island Senior Amateur. So good luck to everyone. That's at Rhode Island Country Club. Every tournament this year has been in like way out in the boonies, at least for me in North Smithfield. Well, last year I got jealous with the amateur being at Kirkbrae, so I can't complain too much. But so that's what's coming up next week, and also we have the Q-School stuff, which will be fascinating, and we'll get into in a second. So real quick, we put up a story Wednesday. We put up a story, Buttonhole. Everybody has love for Buttonhole. Buttonhole is seeking golf ball donations for their driving range. I guess I don't know if people are stealing golf balls or what, but they're wearing down, they're breaking. But Buttonhole is seeking golf ball donations. Rich, I know our guy Peter Walsh, apparently, according to the photo he posted, was the first person to donate a golf ball. So congrats to Peter, I guess. But Buttonhole seeking golf ball donations, so feel free to grab your extra golf balls that are in your garage or wherever and bring them down. So be sure to help out Buttonhole. They do obviously a great job with everything they do there. Rich, you want to donate any golf balls? You must have a ton of golf balls hanging out. No, I don't either.
Yeah, I think my dad might have a couple buckets of balls sitting in the thing.
I think in my parents' house, I think we have like 3 whole like containers of just like random like golf balls.
Oh yeah.
It's just like crazy. Like, what are we even doing here?
Yeah, I'll have to go down to my dad's house and see what he's got in his garage.
But yeah, so if you're looking to donate to Buttonhole, they accept donations anytime. I believe the times are 7:30 a.m. and 6. That could be slightly off. It's in the article, but it's somewhere in those regular business hours. So feel free to grab your golf balls. They don't obviously have to be necessarily range balls. They're just looking for any kind of golf ball to get the kids playing and keep their range open. And I'm not sure if people are stealing golf balls or what's going on over there, but they are out of golf balls. They are
Could
running
be.
out.
It's not in a great area, not in a great neighborhood.
Yeah, maybe the balls go in the woods, or the people take them on the golf course and lose them, or who knows. But anyway, they put out a call yesterday. We kind of put it up in an article format, and they're looking for golf balls. So help Buttonhole out. Earlier this week, I talked to Paul Mignosa of the Veteran Golfers Association. They're hosting their New England Veteran Golfers Association Charity Classic at South Shore Country Club in Massachusetts, which I've never been there, but I hear it's nice, and they do a tremendous pig roast. So that's on August 29th. So I talked with Paul earlier this week, and they're still looking for people to sign up. They're still looking to fill a few groups. So obviously it's for a great cause, helping veterans, playing with veterans, and golf is amazingly, it's just one of the many great things that golf can do. Is a big part of helping some of these veterans kind of recover and get past, to the best of their ability, get past kind of what the stuff they've been through. So here's a quick clip of that interview. You can see the full interview on our website, golfnewswire.com, or on our YouTube page. And we look for, hopefully, people will sign up. They're still looking to fill a few groups, not a ton, just a few, to get a few foursomes, and hopefully, if we are helping them out, hopefully that is the case, and we're going to hopefully help them out down the road as they have some tournaments here in the area. So real quick, here is a quick clip of Paul, who we actually met at the Northeast Golf Show a few months ago. Here's Paul talking about the impact of the Veteran Golfers Association, kind of the origins of it, and how much they mean to these veterans coming home from war or wherever the case may be.
The background of the VGA really stems from veterans in Walter Reed Hospital that sustained injuries from war, and they went out and they played golf to kind of recover from their injuries. There's something special about the game of golf. Obviously you're in the golf industry, and partner that up with those that have served and family members, of us who have served, really culminates into something special. I don't speak for everybody, but I'm sure I can, that you ask most people about the VGA, they all agree that the organization is really special to them.
All right, and that was Paul Mignosa again. Just wanted to promote the Veteran Golfers Association Charity Classic is August 29th at South Shore Country Club. So there's that. Obviously a great cause for veterans, and just it's open to the public, of course. So be sure to check that out as well. So that's kind of the local-ish announcements and sort of stories that we're following. Obviously, lots going on, even though summer is coming to an end, but still great weather, and we'll always be following content throughout the weekend. Next week will be a fascinating week. I know we talked about this last week, Rich, but our kind of worlds collide next week, if you will, because I follow the amateur scene. You're kind of up on the pro scene, and next week we kind of collide with pre-qualifying for Q-School, and then qualifying after that. A lot of these kids, in fact, I know we're both kind of keeping an eye on the U.S. amateur, but a lot of these kids are going right from the U.S. amateur to Q-School. Maybe not a lot of them, but a very good portion of them. Certainly, Christopher and Cora was.
They're definitely good enough.
The kid from URI, he's going to Q-School next week. He lost this morning, unfortunately, but it was a good run for him. But next week our worlds collide in Q-School, so it's really interesting, and I mean it's really intense. And some of these guys have to do pre-qualifying, and then there's first stage. It's total chaos. So for those wondering, and we'll have a written, or I'll have a written sort of primer on this coming next week. But for those wondering, pre-qualifying is approximately 500 golfers signed up across 6 sites, 6 states. So for example, Chris Francoeur, as we reported, is playing in Highlands Golf Course in Nebraska. Who knew? And Davis Chatfield is going to Texas. Will Dixon gets to skip pre-qualifying because he made the cut at a Korn Ferry Tour tournament. So hopefully everyone's following along. Again, I'm going to have a written primer on this next week, so you don't have to try to remember what I'm saying. But I'm just trying to show how intense this is. So pre-qualifying is 500 golfers across 6 states. There's about 80 golfers per site, and about 20 to 25 golfers advance to the first stage from each site. So obviously you have to play good. Obviously the first stage is 72 holes. So it's gonna be pretty intense. We'll have live scoring links. But so it's interesting. I never really, obviously we both knew about Q-School. We knew, obviously exists, and that's kind of how you get started on tour. But I never really knew the intensity of it and knew how crazy it is. But I don't think I would get through. Well, I wouldn't get through pre-qualifying. But like I said last week, I think
it's a grind.
Pre-qualifying sounds harder than the actual qualifying. So,
yep.
But yeah, so that'll be interesting to watch. We have at least 3 guys in Q-School qualifying. Again, Will Dixon gets a break because he made a Korn Ferry Tour cut earlier this week, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of the scores are, what kind of how the whole thing kind of works. And we'll get more into that next week. Again, all this stuff will be written down in a primer. So, yeah, I don't know how much if you had known. Like I said, we both knew about obviously Q-School, but I never really realized kind of the intensity of it, and apparently, I guess according to Will tells me that you don't have, just because you're applying your pre-qualifier in say Texas for Davis Chatfield, that doesn't mean you have to do Q-School in Texas. You can do whatever you want. There's a lot of traveling. I know there's a website that there's a it's not like a GoFundMe, but basically it's a GoFundMe for Chris Francoeur that his family started for him to be able to get to all these places. Obviously a lot of travel. So it's pretty crazy when you think about the intensity of it, and how good you have to play to just to make it to the Korn Ferry Tour. Then there's a whole nother separate Q-School for the PGA Tour, or the senior, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's pretty intense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Did you end up checking out that YouTube thing? Was it worth anything?
The Korn Ferry Tour is doing. Korn Ferry Tour is doing like a video series on the top 25 trying to get their card. So it'll be interesting to see if they do anything for the Q schools.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll have some kind of content on it, I'm guessing.
I think I was watching Golf Channel last week, and that commercial came across the thing, or there was something. There was either a commercial or they mentioned it or something like that. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, if they, I'm sure they're gonna do some kind of content for a Q-School. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. We can obviously have the ability to embed videos and tweets into our website. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that if it involves any of the local people. So that's coming up next week. So I'm excited for that. I think it starts on the 24th for all these guys, which if I'm not mistaken is Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to that. Again, didn't know much about Q-School previously. I've learned a little bit of it. Again, we're gonna have a deep dive on it coming up early next week. All this stuff will be written down. We'll figure out what the hell is going on and who's going where after this place. Will Dixon is doing his first stage of Q-School in North Carolina. Again, he gets a skip qualifying. So obviously a huge advantage, seemingly. So it will be interesting. It's going to be fascinating to see how these guys do, how these locals do compared to people from all over the country, all over the world, probably. So it'll be an interesting thing. It's something that never really thought much of, just as golf fans. We always watch the PGA Tour and now Live and anywhere else. So you never really think of the Q-School part of it. Obviously, we know about the Korn Ferry Tour. But so it'll be interesting to follow. We'll have links and stuff. And again, any video content that there is from the Korn Ferry Tour or from wherever else, if it involves the locals, we'll obviously get that up in some capacity, whether we just share it or put it on our website, depending on what it is. So yeah, so super excited for that next week. Obviously, I was excited for the amateur this week. None of the locals made the cut other than Chris Francoeur, former URI star. It's not easy, as they say.
Not at all.
I thought Patrick had a chance to make the cut. He was in 50th after the first round, and then he kind of fell apart in the second round, and nobody else even came close. Brad Floyd didn't come close. Bobby Leopold didn't come close. But at least they made it there, and I know Valois is going to the Mid-Am next month at Erin Hills in Wisconsin. So lots of travel. Get those save up that money if you're gonna go that
Save
route.
the pennies.
It's not cheap. So that's kind of what we got going on for the local stuff. So obviously season's winding down, people going back to school, looking forward to college golf kind of coming back into focus in a bit. We still have a good roster of players playing collegiately, so we'll obviously have some of that as well. So let's do this. We want to take a commercial break here. There's been a tons of crap. It's continuing to go on between the PGA Tour and Live. Obviously, the PGA Tour is in their playoffs. Just an incredible win last week for Will Zalatoris. So we'll get into some of that. I don't know how that ball stayed on the rocks, but it did. So we'll get into some of that, and obviously the recent developments with Live. They're still petitioning for official world golf rankings. They're suing Golf Channel and a whole bunch of other things. So we have a whole segment on that. We have a lot to talk about, certainly, and we'll do that when we come back. This is the Golf Dudes Podcast. Billy Andre joins the show. Billy, thanks so much for doing this, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm very excited to be joined by an 11-time Emmy Award winner, and that is Armin Katayan. Massachusetts Women's Amateur Champion Allison Paik.
The days of the country club just being golf and maybe one amenity are gone. Unfortunately, Metacomet doesn't have those.
He has a very rare condition called kyphoscoliotic Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And at the time of diagnosis, there was only 60 documented cases in the world.
I mean, we legitimately played the last 4 holes at Newport National. You could not see 50 yards.
And welcome back to another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast, brought to you by Link Strengths. Link Strengths, of course, best known transfusion in a can. This is going to be a warm weekend. It's a big golf weekend. Summer's winding down. Grab yourself a transfusion. Grab yourself a Link Strengths. Take it out on the course. Enjoy your day. Play some good golf. That's what we try to do. The key word there is try. Nothing really happened in the PGA Tour versus Live battle this week. Nothing exciting.
No.
Amazingly, things just get crazier and crazier with this. And we have some, obviously, we want to talk about some of the PGA Tour playoffs as well, but you can't start a segment without talking about Live, because it just continues to, well, one, they're not going away. Two, it just gets crazier and crazier with Patrick Reed filing a lawsuit, which was revealed on Tuesday night, I believe, against Brandel Chambly and Golf Channel for defamation. Obviously, both of us are big Brandel fans, and it's really bigger than that, because, as I was saying off the air, according to lawyers that I read on Twitter, take it for what you will, they don't think he's got much to stand on this lawsuit, because one, he's gotten in trouble for cheating before, or for these things before. So I don't know that for sure. I mean, that's just what I've been reading. But if he does win it, this would really be, in my opinion, it would really be a blow to sports journalism, because that would mean essentially that if you don't like what a commentator is saying about you or a network is saying, you could, in theory, sue them.
Yep.
You know, if you don't, so I think that is a bigger part of it. But the lawsuit was kind of crazy. I guess his lawyer has filed all kinds of lawsuits against all different people, and he's lost every single one. So as his lawyer doesn't have too much credibility, I guess his Wikipedia page is something to behold, from what I read. So just a bizarre situation getting more bizarre. Patrick Reed was asking for $750 million worth of damages. Like golf channel's not even worth that much, and certainly Brandel isn't. So kind of crazy. It was a bizarre thing when the lawsuit was first put on Twitter. I had it, and then you actually sent it to me just as I was about to message you literally at the same time. So it's kind of funny how that worked, but how just your level of shock when that kind of came up and this whole situation now taking another bizarre turn.
Yeah. I don't really understand the purpose of it. I mean, especially with a lawyer that's as shitty as this guy is, as apparently. It's
apparently
legitimately
his Wikipedia page apparently is something to behold. That's what people are
so
saying.
basically this is like wetting some toilet paper and hoping it sticks to the wall type of thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the purpose of it is. I don't know if it's a we mean business type of thing, or this is like an all out attack on everything PGA Tour. I just don't know. I don't know the purpose. I don't get it. I honestly don't really know what to think of it because it's so absurd.
It's definitely absurd. I mean, I'm not gonna say I read the entire lawsuit. Obviously, I did not. But I read some of the people posting clips of it on the social media networks, and I mean, I don't know legal writing, but it wasn't written very well. That's for sure. And look, I mean, Patrick Reed has a history of seemingly doing stupid things, whether it's hitting the ball out of the bunker or touching the sand or whatever, or the nonsense that happened at the Torrey Pines a couple years, a year or two ago, whatever that was. So, and also I don't know how he's going to be able to prove that it ruined his life when Liv is paying him hundreds of millions of dollars.
I know.
100 million, just like the Taylor Gooch and those guys, they had to prove irreparable harm or whatever. And the judge is like, well, obviously it's not really hurting you because you're making more money there.
You just banked 50 million right off the fucking rip. So sorry, right off the rip. And yeah, we like, it's hard to feel bad for these guys,
Right. So I'm not sure how that whole thing is going to work. Apparently,
especially a dink like Patrick Reed.
I just heard on the radio driving home. I guess the Wall Street Journal published some big explosive report about inside the Live Golf contracts, about what they can and can't do, the players can and can't do, and if they want to wear logos, they have to wear them on the side of the hat. They have to have Live Golf stuff on at all times, whatever. And they have to ask permission to do like interviews and stuff. Apparently, I didn't read it. I just heard that was on the radio.
Yeah,
that the Wall Street Journal had some big explosive report out today.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that.
Inside the Live Golf contracts or something. So totally bizarre. Obviously, as we kind of figured it was going to, it's becoming very much a legal situation now. And so that's kind of where I try to stay out for the most part and stick to at least the basics of the facts or whatever. So obviously it's becoming very much a legal situation. PGA Tour got a big win in the court cases last week. Those guys weren't allowed to play, which was funny. I think you actually told me that Gooch was actually sitting outside the golf course in a car waiting.
I think it was him and Russell Henley, I think, or something like that.
Waiting for the verse so they can go practice, and they end up going home. So just a complete bizarre situation. So now the next thing is going to be Liv is trying to get official world golf ranking points. They're applying to that. Of course, the official world golf rankings are run by the tour commissioners, the European Tour, the R&A, PGA Tour, PGA of America, I think the Masters has a representative. So I don't know how the hell that's gonna work. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure,
I don't understand that.
and then I'm sure when they don't get them, I'm sure Greg Norman's gonna sue them for conspiracy, which he may or may not have a point, because obviously those guys are all kind of working together on this to seemingly at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Certainly the European Tour and the PGA Tour are anyway. But so it's just going to be a whole legal situation. So that's one part of it. On Tuesday, there was a players only meeting that they flew Tiger Woods in for at the site of the BMW. There hasn't been a ton of details about it that has come out. Obviously, there was that video that was put on social media of Tiger Woods getting off the plane with Rickie Fowler of all people. I think more people were outraged that Tiger was actually driving, given what happened the last time we saw him driving.
Right.
I think Riggs was saying, "Why don't you just why doesn't he just hire a driver?" Something like that. So
Right.
But players only meeting again, not a ton of details came out about it. It's been kept pretty close to the vest from what everything. That's something new has come out recently. What did you make of that? And then apparently Monahan met with some of the players on the next day, and nothing's come out about that. Rory and JT talked about it in their press conference. Said Tiger was kind of the alpha in the room, and
Oh, of course, yeah.
Which we kind of knew. But what did you make of all that players only meeting? I guess players felt good about it coming out. 22 players were there, including Cam Young, who was rumored to have gone to live. So that was an interesting nugget. But your thoughts on this players only meeting, this secret meeting that happened on Tuesday? You think Tiger's rallying the troops?
It's a call for help. Like, we need help, boys. This thing's about to take over. Not take over, but they're scared. They got some real competition. And this is only the end of the first year. They still got one event, obviously, up by us. Yeah, they're genuinely concerned, and I think Monahan is looking to the players to come up with some ideas, because they are in trouble. They are in absolute trouble. Like we said the previous weeks, as soon as East Lake ends, there's going to be a bunch of people jumping ship too. So I don't know what maybe this was a cry to keep people from jumping. But it was definitely Monahan kind of like probably called Tiger and was like, "Listen, like I need something special from you. I need you to rally the boys and see what you can do, because they're in a bad way right now."
So it was interesting because Alan Shipnuck, my buddy from the U.S. Open, of course. I'm just kidding. He tweeted that the part of the discussion was going to be about Monahan's future, and that maybe some thought was they're going to see if they can get Monahan to resign, bring on someone new as a commissioner, and see if there's a way to work with Liv instead of villainizing them like Monahan mostly has done, to this point. So I thought that was interesting.
Well, I mean, the whole
I don't know
thing,
if that was on the table for real or not, but that was something that he had tweeted. Obviously, he kind of knows what he's talking about generally.
I mean, you don't think the PGA would pair with the Saudis, do you? That's as much of
the world does.
Well, yeah,
true.
I like
other majors even does.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, it doesn't feel like it, but
I don't know.
If they can find a way to at least not even like work together necessarily, just coexist some way where someone tweeted, well, maybe the PGA Tour has their regular schedule, and then
I mean, I think he's taken a little bit of a aggressive approach to it, a little bit. But I mean, you kind of have to, given the situation. The situation's a little messed up. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's going to be a very, very weird and grueling offseason for the PGA to figure out what the hell they're going to do.
Well, especially as the PGA Tour season ends in 2 weeks, and the Live keeps on going. There's still 3 or 4 more Live events. Obviously, the one in Boston in a couple of weeks, and then I think there's one overseas somewhere. There's one in Doral.
Yeah, at Trump Doral, yeah.
And I think there's maybe one more. I don't know the location off the top of my head, but there's I think at least one more. So The FedEx Cup season ends, and Liv is going to have the entire stage to themselves. Now, of course, they don't have a TV deal, but
But everybody can watch YouTube for free though.
right.
So
So
that's another perk, you know.
right.
Oh, you know, like especially with Verizon, you got to buy an extra package to have Golf Channel. Now, I don't mind doing it because obviously it's me, but that's an extra, I think, 15 or 20 bucks a month just for that package. So, these people can just pull up YouTube and see DJ, Brooks, Bryson, all that for free. You know what I mean?
You know, not to
So-
mention ESPN Plus increasing their prices.
Yeah, $10 a month. I got the friggin' email 2 weeks ago. Oh, your next automatic payment will be $9.99. I'm like, wait, what?
Hmm.
But I mean, I guess I'm not really that mad because I pretty much get everything I want. And I get hockey, I get golf, I get UFC. I mean, you can't, and some of the soccer leagues I watch are on there too. So I mean, I really can't complain. I mean, $10 a month is peanuts to me for it.
Yeah. So that's what's going on with the Live. Again, it's going very much into the legal side of things, completely bizarre situations. I think and maybe these people are wrong, but if Patrick Reed does win this lawsuit, I think it could have
I don't think they will.
huge. I don't think he will either. That's not what I mean. Most people are saying that it's kind of like a joke. Not even filed it. But obviously, if he does win somehow, it could have huge ramifications in the sports journalism world and sports media world. So just something to keep in mind. I know people don't really care about the media. I got it. But something to keep in mind. There is actual golf going on. Of course, second stage of the FedEx Cup playoffs. My boy Keegs had a good round today. But I want to go back to this. It didn't make a difference because he took a drop anyways. Because Step Straka crapped himself. But how did Will Zalatoris' ball stay on the rocks like that? It was the most spectacular thing I've ever seen.
Right on the railroad tie, right up against the right up against the thing. And I saw, I think a couple players or reporters or something went out to the exact spot and tried to hit the ball onto the green from there. The ball went right into the freaking water. So amazing. It's about time. I'm happy for him. Runner up at the Masters, runner up at the
US Open.
Numerous top 5, top 3 finishes. Numerous top
runner
5, top 3.
Runner up at the Players. He was in the playoff. Not
That's
the
what I want. That's what I wanted.
PGA. He was in the playoff with JT.
Yeah. So just numerous top 5s, top 3s, runner ups. So I'm happy for him. He finally did it. He's now number 1 in the rankings.
Which is kind of silly, given somebody was saying, it's kind of silly that like Scheffler's won 5 times or something, 4 times this year, and Zalatoris
two majors.
Two, and Zalatoris gets 1 victory, and he it is. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. But I'm not feeling bad for anybody. I'm just saying it is kind of silly. It does seem kind of silly how that works. But what probably helps him is he's already, like you just said, he's had all these like top 5 finishes and top 2 finishes. And
it adds up after a while.
Scheffler either wins or he's non-existent. So maybe that's why that works that way. It does. Somebody said it on social media or I don't know, TV somewhere, and it does seem kind of silly. But happy that he won. Obviously, it was a fascinating tournament, fascinating playoff, and so on. Obviously, they both made huge putts to have holes and to tie it. So good for Will Zalatoris. This week we have the Bmw Championship. Is it South Dakota or in Dakota?
I think so. Yeah, one of the Dakotas.
It's funny. They showed the video.
No, Wilmington, Delaware.
Oh, that's what I meant. Delaware. I knew it was something like that. Dakota, Delaware. It was something like that. It's funny that they showed Tiger getting off the plane. And he's in like a whole button-down shirt and like pants. And somebody tweeted, "Does Tiger think he's in like New Hampshire or something?" Like, where are we going, dude?
Yeah.
That was funny. this is the leaderboard is as of about 3:30. Obviously, it could be vastly different by the time the show airs tonight. But what does our leaderboard look like? My boy Keeg's off to a good start. He
Yeah,
basically
I'll run down the names. I'll do the top 25. I mean the top 15 right now. Just because I don't feel like saying all the numbers and everything there. So yeah, Keegan's leading at 7 under. Then you got Adam Scott, Harold Varner, Shane Lowry, Justin Thomas, Ches Reeve, Morikawa, Shoffley, Spieth, Cantlay. They're at 3 under, just so you can have a little idea. 3 under. Matt Kuchar 3 under through 14. He's having a decent comeback. My boy Sanjay, he's at 2 under. Let's see what else we got. Sepp Straka at 2 under, Rory 2 under. And that goes all the way to 27th. Let's see who's bringing up the back. My boy Kiz is even. Cam Davis is even. My boy Sahith is even. Billy Horschel even. Rom even. Homa +1. Hovland +1. Zalatoris +1. Scheffler 1. Fitzpatrick 1. Jesus. Tony Finau 5 over. And Siwoo Kim is leading, bringing up the end at 7 over, and that's his 68th by himself.
Wowzers.
Yeah, Finau is pants crapping, I guess. Holy crap!
Well, these are a lot of those guys are already in next week.
Oh yeah, they're already in, but hence why Cam took his little.
What do you think was behind that? Do you think he was pissed about that?
There's
a lot of conspiracy out
the
there.
penalty.
Yeah, which was kind of, it is kind of. I guess.
I mean, it was the right call, but it was very like ticky tack type of thing.
It's kind of silly that they called it.
I mean, rules are
later,
rules, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
But do you buy into the conspiracy theories that he was one? He's trying to get to live faster. He's only going to play one more tournament, and then he was pissed about the. I'm sure he was pissed about the ruling. I can't imagine.
Yeah,
he probably was going to win that tournament.
So yeah, he went from two down to 4 down.
Yeah,
and
then
then
he crapped his pants on the last thing.
Yeah, so the whole live thing, absolutely, I believe he's gone as soon as this crap's done. He's gone, absolutely. But yeah, it's just funny. So you got him, and who's the other one?
Well, the rumors are that Cam Young is going.
Cam Young, which
but he was at the players meeting the other day, so that's kind of interesting wrinkle.
Yeah, and so was Rickie Fowler.
I don't know what rumors are. He's been gone too.
I don't understand what the hell he's waiting for, man. I just don't get it.
He's waiting for his resurgence.
Yeah, well, Jordan Spieth did it. He hasn't been doing it.
I mean, at least he made the playoffs.
Yeah, well, yeah. The only reason why he made the playoffs is you got 30 or 40 guys left for live.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Hey, sometimes you just need that break. What are you gonna do?
I know. No, I get it, but it's just.
So yeah, it will be interesting to see how this all plays out. I'm sure more stuff's going to come out. Probably more silly lawsuits. I can only imagine. So there's that. So that's what's going on the PGA Tour this week. Should be an interesting weekend to see who wins. Obviously, then they go to the Tour Championship at East Lake next week. So it's gonna be interesting. It's interesting to see who. It's fun to watch who's on the cut line, who's on the top 30. Obviously, make it. So it's a significant cut. It was a significant cut last time too. So, so lots going on. You got a big tournament this week. We have the Patriots in action tomorrow night, and judging by videos from training camp, tomorrow night's game could be a doozy.
WWE or UFC?
Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, so dumb.
So it could be interesting, and Lord knows what else is going to happen.
Yeah,
because it's just a bizarre golf world right now. Obviously, the local golf world is pretty well, in order, generally speaking. But it's just a bizarre golf world right now. So should be interesting. Who knows where we'll be next week? Obviously, next week we'll be recapping some Q-School stuff. I'll try to get some insight. I don't want to bother anybody too much, but we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. So looking forward to that. What do you the formal season is almost over. Obviously, we still have some fall golf, so still some tournaments. But what are you looking forward to for the rest of the season? Local golf-ish wise.
Ryder Cups. We got our Ryder Cups coming up. What was that? October, I think. Mid October, beginning of October. I'm excited for that.
Ours is in September, but yours, I think yours.
I think mine's in the first week in October. I'm excited for that. Even though we get our asses kicked every year, that's fun. I like coming to see you guys, coming to your place to see.
Yeah, you haven't been in a couple of years though.
I didn't come last year.
I know.
I went the year before.
Last year was at Alpine.
Yeah. So I'll definitely be there this year. It's pretty much it. We got a couple member guests with you left in the season. And I got my my cash tournament. I think that's in September. First or second week in September. And that's pretty much it. I love fall.
Maybe some live golf press credentials. We'll hopefully be finding.
We should be getting that soon, right?
They set up to a week before the tournament, so
okay,
we'll see.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
yeah, that's about it. I'm a big fan of fall golf. You know, shorts and a quarter zip. I have a feeling we're going to be playing golf till Christmas, which would be nice. And then a crappy off season like usual.
No, if we were playing, if the weather people are correct, and we're playing until December, then all you gotta do is get through January and February, and then March is kind of like
true.
At the end of the
gotta
tunnel.
get through 2 months, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and we have this.
The
nice thing is we have other sports to get us through. We have the PC basketball, you have hockey, you have the Patriots aren't going to get you through anything this season, but football in general.
The only thing they're going to get you through is a bottle of booze.
Yeah, well, we don't need any help doing that. So that's
no,
we can do that on our own.
I can do that by myself. But yeah, I like spring golf. Even like early winter golf isn't too bad when it's like 40, like 50 degrees out. It's not too bad. But yeah. It's gonna be a good late summer, early fall season.
Absolutely, and we'll obviously have the collegiate season started. We'll have all kinds of stuff. Obviously, we'll cover all the fall stuff and whatever else goes on. We're looking to expand our content, so that'll be exciting in some way, shape, or form. So obviously, been a lot of fun. So be sure to look into that for everyone out there. Be sure to look into that Veteran Golfers Association Charity Classic on the 29th. Be sure to check out the full interview with Paul Mignosa. Also had a great interview last Friday with Doreen Raftery of Clockett Golf. So she's a new to the golf creators community, so it was good to talk to her, and she's got a neat product. So check that out. Check that interview out as well. And obviously, we'll talk to you throughout the weekend and into next week when we get into a deep dive into Q-School and how exactly it all works, and hopefully there'll be some sort of, like Rich was hinting at, there'll be some sort of video content from the Korn Ferry Tour, or who knows from where. Maybe parents that go with their kids on these trips to in the middle of nowhere to literally the middle of nowhere.
Pretty much.
In Nebraska.
It's like going to the rink at 5 a.m. for hockey.
Yeah. So we'll keep you posted on what we're gonna do with that. Obviously, like I said, we'll have a deep dive article next week explaining all of this stuff. It is tricky. There's a lot to take in, so I'll try to organize it somewhat competently. So that's what we got. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And Rich, good luck on your tournament on Sunday. I know for sure I'm going to talk to you before then, but good luck on Sunday. I know it's a big one for you.
Yeah, appreciate that. Shouldn't be a big, huge issue. Like I said, we play well together when we're partners. So I'm not going to say it's a win, but it's not going to be too much of a struggle for us to get in a groove,
There you go. You heard it there first. He's guaranteeing a win. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll talk to you obviously throughout the weekend. Hope you all have a great weekend. Stay cool. It's going to be a warming out there. Could be the last really warm weekend of the summer, unfortunately. So stay cool. Find a pool somewhere, but also play some golf and enjoy. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We will talk to you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, Q School recap, and Lord knows what else is going to happen in between now and then. Peace.